Today we are going to see unit number first, that is lesson number 3. The title of the lesson is The Call of the Swine. This lesson is written by the name of writer P. Venkat Iyer. Today we are going to see the part number 2nd. Already in part 1st we have studied the writer is trying to his level best to do an organic farm. How many problems he has. Whenever he was searching that different kinds of seeds, that traditional seeds in his native place, that time he was wandering from taluka place to district place as well as area of the village he was going. In part 2nd, when we are going to see the time of April 2005, the writer started to look for a good variety of traditional rice. That is, the name of that varieties is a Kasbai, that traditional varieties. It has something history and it has something that C is a reliable. That is why writer is always thinking about that traditional varieties. The time of that April 2005, when the search was going, others friends were searching, because that seeds were nowadays everywhere were hybrids and chemical seeds, but now that Kasbai seeds was available in a small village. But he has confidence, writer has confidence about that. He will be definite find out that the seeds of Kasbai, that is why the search was going everywhere. And the motto of the writer is that the younger generation of the farmers thought I was crazy to ask for the desi variety. Whenever the writer was inquiring, that he was asking different kinds of peoples, and the search was going, that young generation that thought that person is a crazy person. Why? Because desi variety is not now available everywhere. Number of varieties, hybrid varieties are available in the market also, in the shop also. That is why the everywhere the total generation don't know why he asking such types of that the desi traditional varieties. That is why the younger farmers, the generation, have doubt about the writers. That is why this is the whenever the younger generation of farmers, that I was crazy to ask the desi variety, that my regular visits and the villages that around searching for a good traditional varieties also did not yield any result. We were almost giving up, because the regular visit of writer is in the village, and he visit for he also asking nowadays the result of that traditional rice. I decided to give it one last try and to spoke that the Baban's fathers, someone others elders. After many meaningful conversation, they mentioned the name of the Kasbai. The conversation was going with the Baban's father. Baban is the friends of that writer, and others elders were available in the village. That conversation was going, and the writer mentioned the name of the Kasbai. Nowadays, Kasbai is the traditional long grain rice varieties, which has the distinct aroma. Though much milder than the basmati, it is a long duration crop, and most of the older people remember growing to a year ago. But now all shook his heads, and I asked about the seeds that it is disappeared. Now many people, they are not responding to writer because that variety is now disappearing. Nowhere, everywhere. That the tales of Kasbai made the determined that we decided that it did manage to get some seeds that will be great price to grow. I thought that the government may know something about the visit to agriculture office to enlighten. He had not even heard to try rice for it. He said the villagers were taking me for the ride and there was a rice fire. This name. The rattle of the names of the numbers of the latest hybrid. Even the offers to give me some of the free for the cost of trial. Cursing myself for the wasting time, he moved on the destination. Whenever rapidly the search was going, but that his time was waste. The cost of that Kasbai is not less, but the time was waste. Adivasis Mahamandals at the Kasa, at the place of Kasa, that buys rice from the Adivasi village on the behalf of the government Kasbai did not figure in their files. Good indication the people did not grow in the market. That after many conversations, they mentioned the name of Kasbai. Kasbai is the traditional grain rice variety which has the distinct aroma on that. And we gently guided him back to the reason for our visit to Kasbai seeds. The Devhanda dictated into his past, his eyes turned to dreaming with the tremor. The voice, he told us the entire village at the one time grew in Kasbai. He said there was the time when people passing our village during the lunchtime would be forced to stop and ask for meal such of alluring aroma of Kasbai. The entire area would have the heady aroma hanging in the air, so all the houses cooked a same rice. Today, he said no one grew Kasbai and everyone had shifted to growing the new hybrid variety. He claimed he had forced him to eat the rice and that inspired. Only there were not any response because peoples were growing the hybrids variety and peoples were not giving the response to writers. The advent of irrigation, farmers were tempered to grow second crop the Kasbai being the long duration rice that they replaced by the shorter duration. Hybrid that the harvest could be that done earlier. This ensured that farmers could take and second. I asked why shifted and so unhappy with the hybrid. No one forced that he will be replied that. No one everywhere, they were not responsive writers. That whenever he in Adivasi areas, he went and single villagers in the area who would not that the seeds of Kasbai. According to him, only people who still grew and the Adivasi hamlet on the foothills of the mountains of the next village, Asavari, the Asavari village is there, and the bead farewell, Devhanda and lovingly that the place and the Mahalakshmi local goddesses give with the seeds of Kasbai. The local that Mahalakshmi is that will be giving. In Asavari village, that we asked the Sarpanch to ask we were fluent to local diet. He said the assistant Jivan with into the hills after half hours after through thick vegetation crossing the numerous streams and beaches and scrambling rocks and gravel. We reached the slippery helmet and Boribanda. There were just two houses in front of the wonder was the wrinkled old woman sitting before one of the houses looked at the curiosity. He approached the single to Jivan to ask crucial question. He muttered to reply and looked at the Jivan for the quick interpretation. He broke into smile and informed that there were No one is a response. We asked to circle that, they want us. And the Asawari's village, it was difficult. Take to keep a straight face, and I just controlled to strong desire. After the searching for months, he found the Asian Kasbai. Explained that we were paid nearly by we needed seeds to grow, and we 10 kilograms rice, he muttered and scored. Jivan interpreted that she had never heard to a pet village that also did have weighing scale that was whiling, giving the seeds only in the breakfast. The ask and single basket of the rice, and Jivan told paid. When in the pet that the writers, the from he got that in Asavari, and writer have taken 10 kilograms of that rice seeds, and I handed over 100 rupees note that the first time in the last minutes. Her face broke into a smile. She nodded her head in approval. That as we back against the fading sunset, living behind the smiling old lady, I could help that wonder that the nestling in the foothills of the unknown mountain, away from the hustle and bustle of the reeds of city, there were real people to India. These were people who reach biodiversity of that no one can care about them. They had never heard our hybrid fertilizers of pesticides. They just grew their rice and ate and their got. The old lady was made and probably never will banda. They Boripada, that the place where Rector got the seeds of the Kasbai, that people of Boripandara, they didn't use any hybrid seeds, fertilizers or pesticides. They have got original here. That is the village in the Boripada, that unsolved of the progress, and I solved. I was the great for that is why. The writer said that we sure that there was a single village. That single village is the Boripada, and writer got the seeds of that Kasbai in that village, and writer was happy. That is why he, whenever he returned at the farm, and he decided, because the seeds not everywhere, people were not responding anything, but he got the seeds of the Kasbai at the Boripada, and he was success to enrich that here for he would like to the generic, and he would like to organic that farming, and he will be definitely success in the farm. That is why whenever they were going everywhere, and only one variety was that the Kasbai is here, and that will be definitely go in the farm of writer, and all were trying to their level best. It is the second part, only one part, first and second, both are consistent. The aim of that writer is to growing everywhere to organic, because everywhere suffering from different kinds of diseases from the hybrid seeds, and people are affected different kinds of the diseases. That is why a writer is giving something message to us. We should be follow the organic farm, and the use or the profit of the organic farm is directly to us nowadays. That is why we should be think about that, and it is necessary day to day life, because writer is given the best example in the lesson, and we will definitely follow the organic farm, because that the directly useful for our for family as well as village also, and Maharashtra. So that is why it is the small example that the pet village that in Maharashtra that have given by the writer. Thank you.